Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday, which means I have a fighter mug. Because once again, man, Mondays. Oh, my kids too don't want to get up on Monday. I think it's because they realize we're the ones teaching them. And they don't get to see any friends. Hey there, Natalie, how's it going on Instagram? For those of you that don't know, I stream both Instagram and Facebook at the same time, so I'm just kind of waiting to have some people join in this morning, and then we're going to dive in. I actually have a topic today about another herb. I'm profiling an herb that is very, very easy to incorporate and has ridiculous amount of health benefits. So last week, people really loved the live on ashwagandha. I'm so happy. That's one that you kind of need some guidance on trying to find. The one today you can actually find in your grocery store, like right now. Like if you went to the grocery store, you would find it, and that's pretty cool. Good morning, Bill. Yes, I'm a fighter today. I think I've used this mug before. I'm running out of them. I guess once the world goes back to shopping, I'm going to have to head back to Home Goods and find some more. But good morning to everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday and that you had a great weekend. Here in Arizona, oh my gosh, the weather is so beautiful right now, guys. I mean, I was out transplanting succulents to pots yesterday for a good hour and a half, and then just chilling on my patio, drinking some sparkling water and reading. And I mean, it was just, you can't beat the weather in Arizona right now. I know that many of you out there don't have that benefit. You're still in some rough weather. But man, I'm not hating where I live right now. I got to tell you. Even with having to stay home, at least I have this beautiful weather. The kids were in the pool. So I hope all of you had a great weekend. Looks like we have some people on both sides here, so I'm going to dive in. Today, I'm going to talk about the dandelion. Yes, the dandelion. And for those of you who don't know, I am Dr. Trisha Pingel, and this is your morning checkup, live on both Instagram and Facebook and wherever else I choose to post it after that. I do post all of these on Facebook and Instagram after the fact in case you miss it. And I do also post it on YouTube. And hopefully soon on my website, drpingel.com. All of these topics I do also write about. So if you want an article, check out drpingel.com. Hey there, everyone. I see people saying hello. So I will go back and answer all your questions, I promise, but I love the comments. Fantastic. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the dandelion. Now, the dandelion is one of those things that as a kid, I used to love to play with. You know, they grow in the fields. They're bright yellow. You flick off the top of it. I don't remember the little rhyme that you do with that. Maybe some of you do. And I grew up in the Northwest, so they were everywhere. Okay, and most of the time, maybe people think it's a pest. I know farmers, it tends to grow over crops. A lot of people think of the dandelion as a pest, but actually, the dandelion is ridiculously healthy for you. And what's cool about it is, one, it's really easy and inexpensive to incorporate. Number two, every part of the plant has medicinal benefits. So it's not like you have to discard part of it. You can actually eat the whole thing. So it is amazing at detoxifying your liver. It is proven to fight the growth of cancer cells and also boost your immune system, your skin health, and way more. So we're going to talk about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of the plant and how it was used, and then go through each part and how you can incorporate it in your own kitchen, perhaps, which is helpful right now. And I tell you right now, if you go to the grocery store, no matter where you are, most likely dandelion greens are going to be there, because they're not the most popular item to buy, right? They're not canned soup or pasta, or toilet paper. So they're there, okay? They're out there, and they're something that you can incorporate. Dandelion tea is also ridiculously popular, and I know many of you already do it because I've received tons of comments on this article about how much you love dandelion. So that's why we're talking about it, okay? So very easy to incorporate, and it has been used for centuries for medicine. Hey, Franklin, how's it going? Howdy to you too, sir. Okay, so typically the dandelion grows in temperate zones, northernmost. So pastures, meadows, farmlands, that's typically where you see it. It's used a lot in the circle of life. So, you know, as a naturopathic physician, I believe in the power of nature, and that there's a lot of symbiosis and circle of life that occurs in nature, a lot of things of which we don't fully understand, where insects may understand or viruses may understand more than us. We're always trying to catch up with what nature is doing. And in the circle of life here, there are insects that actually drink the nectar of dandelion. In fact, there was a study way back where they actually tried to count how many different insects actually drink the nectar of dandelion, and it came down to about 93 different kinds of insects that thrive off dandelion nectar. Now, they must know something, right? Why else would they drink it? So it obviously has some sort of benefit to them. 93 different insects. On top of that, small birds very often seek out the seeds, and pigs in particular, not my little French bulldog pig, but actual pigs, will actually devour the whole plant, just go right for it. So there's a lot of benefits to them as well. So a lot of animals eat dandelions in nature, and it keeps them going, as well as insects. So when we're, killing them all with weed killer and we're popping them out, we're actually doing them a little bit of a disservice, and possibly us as well. So always remember that nature has a way, that's the beauty of it. That's why our bodies can heal. A nice, strong immune system and good health and good nutrition will put you in a better position against illness than someone who doesn't have that. All of this, we're all connected, folks, right? You guys believe that? I do, wholeheartedly. We're all connected in every way, no matter what we are. Whether we're a fly, a pest, a plant, a person, doesn't really matter. We're all connected in some way, and we all live off each other, right? So this is a great example of that. As a medicine, dandelion was first mentioned, it was in the 10th and 11th centuries by Arabic physicians. That was the first time that it was touted as a medicinal benefit. That was a long time ago. And the roots of the name have a lot of different interpretations. The root or the name of dandelion in us medical world is taraxacum. Okay, and that has a root in many different ways. Greek taraxos links kind of to disorder, remedy of disorder. There's other interpretations that are like remedy of pain. All of the ways of interpreting that Latin name lead towards a curative effect. So depending on what language you're in, there's a curative action to it. It was recognized very early that this plant had curative actions. So let's talk about each of those parts, because the cool part about dandelion is the entire plant has medicinal benefits, the entire thing, and they're all slightly different, which is cool. In fact, while I'm on nature and about medicine, a lot of people think that what I do or herbal medicine is more a current, like growing area. And I guess it is in some respect when it comes to just general knowledge, but you have to remember that these were the roots of medicine, okay? And from these herbs and plants came pharmaceuticals. So all of this research and the mechanism of actions of plants and how they were used centuries and centuries and centuries ago. This is not new. This is actually well studied. There are lots of studies on plants. I think that a lot of people just don't put it out there, or it's maybe not part of the common understanding in medical school on the conventional route. As far as a naturopath, we study all the herbs. I think we had 2 years of herbal therapy, and then we had to apply it all in rotations and internships and such. And we also had to learn the origins of pharmaceuticals. And when you go to the origins of pharmaceuticals, you find a lot of plants. Okay, so remember, this has been around for a long time. Cool little tidbit, I have my great-grandfather was a very well-known physician and well-respected. And a couple of years ago, I just happened to be searching on Pinterest or something. I don't even know what I was looking for. And up pops his name and a picture of a medical bag. And the medical bag they found in a barn in New York. And they returned it to Vassar Hospital because that's where he was a chief physician. And so they returned this bag to Vassar. Vassar put it in their museum. And I reached out to Vassar for more information. And when we looked at the medical bag, it was all natural remedies. Isn't that crazy? It wasn't like all this medicine. It was all, I mean, there was like Epsom salts and there were different types of plants and herbs, very simplistic medical bag. And that's how he treated. And that's what kind of like cemented it for me and reminded me that these types of medicines and plants go way back, guys, way back. And many times are much safer than some of the pharmaceuticals. Not always, okay? Plants can still be toxic, must recognize that. And they should always be guided by a physician who's educated in that to know who can take what. Now on dandelion is pretty low risk. Now people are allergic to dandelion, so you do need to know that. If you're someone who's allergic to dandelion, don't take dandelion. But in general, it's one that most people can incorporate. I do always suggest that you talk to your doctor first though, okay? Just do that for me. So let's talk about the benefits. And Piggy sees something outside, so she might be barking in a second, right, Pig? You know, all those birds in Arizona. All right, so medicine, the root. The root is how I commonly use dandelion in my practice. I tend to use a lot of tinctures, which is basically a substance made from boiling or decocting a root into a solution, whether that be alcohol or water, and then putting it into a concentrated tincture form. Now you can find tinctures at your health food store. This is a very easy one to find. You might want to take a look at the Latin name though, taraxacum. Often that's how it's written on the bottle. It's not written as dandelion. So type that in so that you remember that one. But hello. But taraxacum, typically I put it in tinctures. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can also do it as a food, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But the root itself is very beneficial to the liver. That's its primary, liver and gallbladder. That's kind of the focus of the root of dandelion, okay? It does help the whole system. It helps flush through the kidneys. It's an antioxidant. We'll talk about all of these, but the primary action of the root is of detoxification and regeneration of your liver. Now, many of you took a look at my liver live, was that last week? Maybe the week before, where I talked about the importance of the liver for your overall health. This is a very good herb to incorporate in when it comes to liver health, okay, and very easy to take. Another way that a lot of people have used dandelion, and this is good for you, people that are trying to get off coffee. In fact, I had a question on Instagram, I think it was last week, asking for alternatives to coffee because coffee made you too stimulated. Dandelion, in walks dandelion. Not only can you use it as a tea, and you can get dandelion root tea as well as leaf tea, so there's different benefits there, but you can also make dandelion coffee. Where the root is roasted and then you grind it down just like you would coffee and you brew it just like coffee. It does not have that stimulatory effect that coffee does, but it does very much clear the liver, support the gallbladder, support the kidneys, support glowing skin, and has that bitter flavor of coffee. So it actually works quite well as a coffee substitute. Now, trying to find pre-made dandelion coffee might not be so easy, but you can certainly search how to make it. And see if you can make your own and then ship me a bunch of it here, okay? Send me a note, say I have a bunch of stuff to ship you and I will take it because I will drink dandelion coffee all day. You can also make it as a tea. But tons of studies on this, on the root. There was a 2010 study that showed that consuming dandelion root had the potential to significantly reduce scarring on the liver, okay? Why? Because it actually reduces the oxidative stress on the liver, which allows the liver to regenerate and heal. Now, if you recall from my liver live, the liver is one of our organs that can actually regenerate itself. So you could donate your liver to somebody or part of your liver and it will grow back. That's cool, right? This will help you do it. Okay, it helps regeneration of liver cells. Very important because if you think about the top conditions that we have in America right now, a lot of them are inflammatory. A lot of them involve the liver. A lot of the medications that we're taking, like statins for cholesterol, can cause problems to the liver. So when you're supporting the liver and the regeneration of the liver, you're only helping your overall health. Okay, it has to happen. Liver support, in my opinion, is critical to preventative medicine. I do not personally have any disease processes going on, and I take liver support, including dandelion, every single day. Why? Because I know that if my liver is working well, I'm low in inflammation, I'm getting all those benefits in, I will be less likely to develop disease. Okay, and that's what I'm in this for, right? To use nature to improve my health. Okay, that's what all of us should be in this for. Why do we always wait till we're sick to treat? We shouldn't. We should be looking ahead. We should be saying, okay, how does our body boost our immune system? How does our body clear toxins? How does disease development happen? How can we keep inflammation low? And then do things that are natural to prevent those situations from happening. Liver support is key. Okay, and dandelion is a great, easy, simple way to incorporate liver support. So I want you all to go out today and buy some dandelion tea. Deal? Okay. So the leaves are what you can find in your grocery store right now. Nobody's buying them, except hopefully all of you. If you go to the grocery store and you look around the outer perimeter of the grocery store, you see tons of greens, right? And they all kind of look the same. They all kind of look like lettuce, but you've got varieties of things like arugula and kale and cabbage and, got collard greens and whatnot. In that little group, you're going to find dandelion greens. That's where you're going to find them. Now, dandelion greens are actually used in other countries quite regularly in food and in salads, particularly in France. Now, the younger the dandelion leaf, the less bitter. So a lot of the times they'll use really young plants and add them to salads just to add a little bit of a bitter flavor, which would be similar to like adding an arugula. Dandelion definitely is more bitter than an arugula, especially the older it gets. But that is actually quite common in Europe to see the use of dandelion greens in salads. And it's something that we just don't do enough here in America. How many of you have actually eaten a dandelion green on your salad? Show of hands. I have. Anyone else? No? Maybe not. Hopefully when I ask that question on Friday, all of you will say, me, I did. I tried them this week. So give it a try. There are other ways to use it. I will say when you use the leaves, better to tear it up than to cut it up. Why? For some reason, when you tear the green, it keeps more bitter quality than when you cut the green with a knife. I don't know why. Okay, but you tear it up. You can also boil them down like you would spinach. Like if you were going to boil down spinach and then add spices like cayenne, ginger, you could do nutmeg, garlic, lemon, onion. You could put a dressing over the top, but any type of wilted green or cooked down green, you can totally do with dandelion greens as well. And you can put that in a base of, say, a bowl. Like I do a lot of bowls with like a little bit of quinoa, some roasted vegetables. You could definitely put some reduced down boiled dandelion greens in there and have even more benefit. I had a recipe the other night that was collard greens, and you boiled them down and mixed them with like a nut sauce, and it was heavenly, and it was on the base of a bowl with all sorts of stuff on top. There was like tofu and cauliflower and broccoli and all of that. But they were great on a base, and dandelion greens, that would be a great way to incorporate them. Just so you know, there's also something called dandelion beer. Yeah, who knew, right? Actually quite common in most parts of the country, except here. It's made a lot in Canada. In fact, a dandelion stout is probably the most popular, and it's actually a healthy decoction of a plant. Sometimes they also mix yellow dock and nettles, which are two other plants that blend beautifully with dandelion. If you are going to do a tincture, a custom tincture, yellow dock and nettles are definitely ones to look at as well to include in that. Teas often have those included as well. They blend beautifully. In fact, I should say dandelion medicinally works best in blend with other herbs. It works on its own. Okay, it still has health benefits, but when you blend it with other herbs, it's the sweet spot. Okay, so there's actually dandelion beer, right? I would love to try that. So haven't seen it here around Arizona, but I'm going to start searching for it. But in terms of the health benefits of dandelion greens, the reason they work so well is they help promote the flow of bile, okay, and digestive process. They're a bitter, okay, so that means that they help the body start to break things down. And that could be anything really. Fats, if it helps stimulate bile, you're breaking down fats, right? Very important. In 2017, they did a study that showed that the polysaccharides in dandelion can protect the liver from acetaminophen-induced hepatic injury. That's a mouthful. Tylenol. Tylenol can damage your liver. Dandelion is shown to reverse that effect. That's that broken down very simple from doctor language into normal everyday language. So very important. They have a protective effect. They also support kidney health. They're a diuretic. So if you see dandelion leaf in a tincture, it's going to be more on the diuretic side, where if you see dandelion leaf or you see dandelion root in a tincture, it's going to be more on the liver protective side, right? So when you tincture it and you really look at the concentration of it, those are kind of the slight differences between the root and the leaf. But it does help the kidney, which means it helps flush the toxins out of your body. We have enough toxins here in our environment. Let's get rid of them. In 2009, they did a study where subjects consumed dandelion extract and they had increased urinary frequency within 5 hours. Now that can be annoying, right? Because you're having to run to the restroom, but think about all those toxins that you're flushing out, okay? This can be great also if you're thinking about people who are prone to urinary tract infections, maybe because they're not, they don't have enough urinary output. This could be a great way to support the kidneys there. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water when you are using dandelion leaf, okay? Because you're gonna pee a lot and we don't wanna get dehydrated, right? Very cool. So I actually like to use the dandelion greens in cooking and use the dandelion root in tincture. A lot of the teas out there are pre-made. If you go to your grocery store or kind of health-focused grocery store and you see like yogi teas, traditional medicinals, a lot of times they have a liver support tea or they have a dandelion tea and they're mixed with a bunch of different herbs. You will always see dandelion in there. Always. I don't think I've ever seen one that doesn't incorporate it unless it's a straight like milk thistle of some sort. Very, very popular in liver support teas. The flower. Okay, someone asked me, can you just eat the flower? Apparently you can. I have not. I don't know if any of you have. I've never just chewed on it, but apparently it is very sweet. And the way that it tends to be used is to make wine or syrups, which makes sense because it's very sweet. I think this is something that I'm gonna put on my bucket list to learn how to make. I would love to try to learn how to make a dandelion syrup. Why not, right? So I'm gonna do that. But apparently it's very sweet. It can be eaten raw, so you could put the flowers on your salad, for example. We already know that many, many, many insects love the nectar, so it must taste somewhat good. Okay, now the entire plant does contain antioxidants, okay, but the flower specifically is the most potent. Remember, an antioxidant will kill off free radicals. What's a free radical? Just think of something like that wants to kill everything else. So it's dangerous to your body. It wants to kill healthy cells. So if you go in and you kill the free radicals, you keep healthy cells. So if you want to promote healthy cells to avoid cancer or other mutations in cells, you want to have a lot of antioxidants, okay? In the dandelion, those are polyphenols, okay? Highest concentration in the flower. There are many antioxidants in our diet, many of which come from plants, which is why I often say plant-based diets has the most benefit to the immune system because you get so many minerals and you get so many antioxidants in plants. Dandelion is absolutely no exception, okay? And I'm gonna talk more about this benefit when I talk to you about the health benefits of the plant in general. So it's pretty cool that you can eat each different part. Many of you can probably walk outside here in the spring and find a bunch of dandelions in the wild. You can also find those greens in your grocery store. Pretty cool. Right, you guys hanging with me? Y'all still out there? Okay, so on to the top 5 health benefits of dandelion in general and why you should put them into your diet. Number 1, inflammation. Here's the thing, guys. Inflammation equals disease. Now, short-term inflammation, maybe not. You stub your toe, it swells up, we get over it. But when you have chronic inflammation in your body, it leads to disease. And the biggest diseases in our country are rooted in inflammation, okay? When we look at cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, they're all, in fact, Alzheimer's has a lot of inflammatory links as well. When you're inflamed, you don't absorb nutrients from your food so well. When I look at everything that's going on in our society right now with the virus and who's a susceptible host and who isn't, and how do we protect everyone and what do we do? And there's all this, information just flying at us from different directions. The bottom line is inflammation will cause a problem, okay? You need a strong immune system. You need good nutrition. That's how you beat this, right? So the hosts that have that are faring pretty well. Those that aren't are not, and it's really hard to reverse really quickly. And that's why sometimes it's hard to do anything about it. But we can learn from this. We can learn how to protect our body from future viruses or from a resurgence of this virus by really looking at inflammation and our immune function. So dandelion has been shown to have an anti-inflammatory effect. 2016 study showed that, where it not only lowered or showed not only showed anti-inflammatory activity, but it actually inhibited the inflammatory signaling, which is amazing. They also found that it would reduce inflammatory markers. Now, one of the biggest inflammatory markers that many of you may be familiar with is called CRP, C-reactive protein. There's a high sensitivity C-reactive protein and a generalized C-reactive protein. So this is something that I encourage people to run in their annual labs regularly, at least once a year, if not more, if it's higher, to see where your generalized inflammation is. The lower that number, the less likely of inflammatory disease. And dandelion can help you get there. So very important. Even more amazingly is its impact on cancer cell growth. Okay, so cancer in America kills roughly, I think, around 600,000 people per year. That's over 500,000 people per year. Combine that with cardiovascular disease, and you've got over 1 million deaths per year in the US alone, both inflammatory situations. Okay, 1 million per year. Just think about that. As someone that has been personally impacted by both in my family, I'm very passionate about this subject. We can prevent this. We can take things that help us avoid worsening disease. Dandelion has been shown to have anti-cancer properties. In fact, in 2012, a study revealed that dandelion extract has the potential, listen to this, has the potential to kill and eliminate human pancreatic cancer cells without negatively impacting the healthy cells. Why does this matter? Pancreatic cancer is rough, okay? It is a killer. It is hard to fight. I personally have seen a patient of mine pass of it. It broke my heart, right? A lot of the treatment is chemotherapy. Now, chemotherapy kills the good and the bad. It kills the good cells and the bad cells. So if we potentially have something that could be studied at more in depth that kills the cancer cell but doesn't kill the healthy cell, that's huge, okay? Part of the reason my mom passed was chemo, effects of chemo. It killed the healthy cells, you can't fight at that point. So very cool. Another one, 2017, found that it actually inhibited the spread and increase of colorectal cancer cells. So colon cancer, big thing in America. This can help inhibit the spread. Pretty freaking cool. In addition, it's been also shown in a 2019 study, so this is more recent, to not only kill prostate cancer cells, but also reduce the tumor growth. So it shrinks the tumor and kills the prostate cancer cells. Pretty cool. No reason not to take it, right? It's only going to help. Bringing us full circle back to what's going on right now in our world, dandelion boosts the immune system, okay? It does this because it has antibacterial and antiviral properties. Now, if you go into the conventional world and you say, okay, what are our antivirals? It's actually pretty limited. They're very specific antivirals to specific things. In the plant-based world, us naturopaths know all these wealth of plants that are antiviral in general, kind of like a general antibiotic. This is a general antiviral. These plants help boost the immune system and recognize threats and kill them, and that is important. Okay, bunch of studies on this. 2019 showed that it improved immune function in animals. 2014 showed that it had antiviral effects on both animals and humans. In addition, something very important about any plant, but definitely dandelion, is that plants contain nutrients. Okay, so assuming that your digestion is working fine, meaning you're very low stress, because as I've told you before, when you're under stress, your digestion does not work right, okay? And when it doesn't work right, you don't get the minerals you need to boost your immune function, okay? The immune system requires a bunch of nutrients, vitamin C, minerals like selenium, zinc. In fact, in Corona research right now, they're looking a lot at vitamin C and zinc as a potential treatment into reducing the severities and also in prevention. We don't have some concrete evidence on that, and we have some, but not enough yet for me to report, but there's a lot of circling around that in my world. But these are all required. Vitamin C is huge in immune function, okay? So dandelion contains vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, folate, small amounts of B vitamins. It's incredibly rich in minerals, in particular iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and even more. Okay, so if you're digesting your food well, you're not under a ton of stress, and you're eating a lot of greens, you're gonna have a lot of things available to help your immune system fight disease. And that is critical, right? We're seeing that right now. You know, I've said this for years, and many times people are like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I get it, whatever, I should eat right. But right now, I think most of us are like, wow, what more can we be doing to boost our immune system? Something like this comes along in nature, what do we do? How do we protect ourselves? And so many people are focusing on the treatment, which is great. You know, we keep forging forward in that. But you also need to look at, okay, how do we learn from this and how do we protect ourselves in the future? And your immune system is key. Nutrition, minerals, and a healthy host are key. Dandelion should be incorporated in to help you get there, okay? I already mentioned that it supports healthy digestion, right? And it does that. The studies basically say that it will stimulate gastric secretions. So the breakdown of stomach acid and bile, which helps break down proteins, helps break down fats, which of course produce more energy. So you always want to support your digestion. The whole purpose of digestion is to absorb nutrients. Absorb nutrients, that makes them available to your body takes them and does something with them, right? And that's how we stay healthy, okay? So very important. Lastly, dandelion has been shown to boost skin health. Now, part of this is from its ability to clear the liver, because when you have a clean liver, you have clean skin. So a lot of the times when people have a lot of acne, they have a lot of skin rashes, the first place I say is, hey, what's going on in the liver and the digestion? Do we have toxins that are not being eliminated? You know, or are we not absorbing nutrients for the skin? Dandelion has been shown to benefit the skin, not only in that way, but also against UVB rays, which is pretty cool. It's been found to improve acne. It has been shown to protect your skin. In fact, 2015 shows that the extract made from root, leaves, and flower will protect your skin cells against UVB-induced oxidative stress. Pretty cool. What does that mean? It means it prevents cell death from UV rays. So, you know, when we look at skin cancer, which is pretty common, it's important to support your liver. It also reduces skin aging, which of course all of us love, right? Especially us women. So definitely need to incorporate dandelion. So I'm hoping that you're finding this interesting. This is a great herb to put into your arsenal. Take it, take it, take it. Okay? And if you think other people would benefit from this knowledge, please share this. You guys have been so awesome, by the way, just sharing these and liking them and commenting. I'm going to tell you, that's the reason I show up here every day around this time, Monday through Friday, because people are liking it. People are commenting. People are reaching out. People are learning. And as a physician, my first job is doctor as teacher. Okay? And then you take the information that I give you and you make an educated decision on what's best for you. That's why we're here. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to educate you on what you can do if you choose to benefit your health. So that's why I'm here. So thank you for sharing it. Thank you for your comments. I do have an article on dandelion at drpingel.com, which does detail a lot of these studies, has links to the studies if you're someone who likes to do even more research. If you don't believe me, you can click on the link and you can read about it. I also have many other articles as well, and looking forward to all of the lives this week. So today, if you go to the grocery store by chance, look for that dandelion green, or at least look for the tea and give it a try. Let me know what you think. Write a comment this week and tell me, did you like the flavor? Did you notice anything different? Did you find yourself in the bathroom all the time because it's a diuretic? I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think? If any of you find dandelion coffee or make dandelion coffee, send it to Dr. Pingel because I want it, okay? So anyway, thank you to all of you. Please be well. Stay safe out there. Stay positive. Keep smiling and go enjoy this beautiful day. Much love, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.